Make sure that your drawings fill the entire page and that you have them nice and clear. Alright, so this is clearly Medusa. It could be slightly bigger, but that's still really good. Now what I would suggest is, if you do something like Medusa, that you make extra snakes that maybe like come around the base. Now also we're going to have a frieze, and a frieze is a long decorative band. You're going to have a long rectangle that goes around. Unlike Medusa, I would do snakes on that band. That would be really cool. This one is very good. This one needs to be bigger, and I can tell, I think maybe it's not quite complete, and I can tell that it's got one eye, so I know it's a Cyclops. But it looks like either the body wasn't finished or it needs to be made bigger. But this one's not real clear. This one is really well done. You've got the Minotaur here with a knife in his hand. Oh, and a skull down there too. That's pretty cool. But he needs to be bigger. He needs to be a lot bigger. Here we have a cartoon version of Cerberus. And Cerberus is a three-headed dog. Now, I actually do think that this could be bigger. I think you can make him bigger still. She's got several versions. This one I'm not so fond of because it doesn't look like all the heads are coming from the same body. It just looks like you got three dogs looking at you. This one I like a lot because you've got some overlapping and some depth. I think I would spend a little bit more time working on that drawing. Okay. This one is the Phoenix. He needs to be bigger. I'm recording. You need to have a seat and leave me be. Alright. He needs to be bigger. And that's pretty much it. It needs to be bigger. This one, that's getting closer, but I would move him over because his wings could be bigger. So you want to try to make it as big as you can on this piece of paper. That one's getting closer, but he's wide, but he needs to be taller. Oh, this must be Hades.
Poseidon.
Or Poseidon. Alright, Poseidon, because he's got the pitchfork. I would say on Poseidon, a really good frieze for Poseidon would be waves on the long decorative band. Here we have the Minotaur. Nicely done, but I think it needs a little bit more like symmetrical. Like this side needs to come in maybe to match that side, and it needs to be bigger. I like the skull again. The skull with him is good. You got two different styles here. This one has this detail right there. That works. That works well. It comes in between the eyes like this and down. That adds a lot of character to him if you just put those lines in there. This one needs to be bigger. Okay, this one is good. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be up here and down here. I told you you could trace it once and then you need to draw it on your own, but this one needs to be redone. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Alright, nice. This figure, I would do this figure again, and I would make him big. Like I would make him this big, your Minotaur. And then I think these are skulls. I would make the skulls separate. Maybe the skulls go around the frieze, around the top. But he needs to be bigger. Yep, again, this one needs to be bigger. I would do this on a separate piece, and cut that out separately, and you can glue that on behind it. You're not going to include a whole scene. This isn't going to be a whole scene. If you want a sun in there, you could, but it needs to be separate. Yep, this one needs to be bigger still. And I would go ahead and do this, the rainbow, but I would do it on a separate piece. I think I would leave the sun out. Okay, again, needs to be bigger. It's okay to trace it once, but then it needs to be bigger. I like the Medusa sunglasses. I like the Medusa with sunglasses. She's funny, but she needs to be bigger. That needs to be bigger. Bigger, bigger. Alright, this one looks good. The Minotaur. He's got some massive feet. The proportions are a bit off. You might want to work on your proportions a little bit, but the size looks pretty good. Very nice. This one is the Phoenix, but it has some issues here. Like, I can't quite tell. I mean, it's really pretty, but I can't tell where the head is, and all these individual little shapes. You're going to be cutting out a silhouette. That's a lot of detail. You need to have a silhouette of this. Yeah, this one needs to be more clearly done. That one's not clear. Okay, this one has a whole scene. That's totally cool, but you don't want to put it all together. This needs a whole page, he needs a whole page, and he needs a whole page separately. You cut them all three out separately, and then you glue them on in the way that you want them. Okay? So this one needs some work. Oh, that's nice. And I can tell that it's hand-drawn. I like the detail in here. I love that you're getting a whole scene together. But you need to like make each one of these a separate piece. Now think about it too, you're going to have a vase. And the vase is going to have that scene on it. What's that going to look like? So like if he's right there, is he just like, the person's there, but he ends right there. Like what's there? This is, who is this?
Zeus.
This is Zeus? Alright. Zeus is the god of the sky. So maybe for Zeus, the god of the sky, maybe what you could do is put a cloud underneath him so he looks like he's coming out of the cloud instead of just like chopped off below those massive pecs. So this one needs a little bit of work too, but really nice. I believe this is Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Alright, Aphrodite needs some more symbolism about who she is. And it could be just as simple as a bunch of hearts. She's a goddess of love. So I would say the frieze on that one would be good as hearts. So the frieze will go around the neck of the vase. You could have several friezes, or you could just have one. It could also go around the foot of the vase. It could be hearts. It could be snakes. It could be whatever you want it to be. Ah, nice. This is very nice. It is a what? What is this?
Let me check.
Chimera.
Chimera?
Yeah, the chimera.
The chimera. Head of a lion and a goat and a tail as a snake. This is excellent, but it needs to be bigger. And I would do it this direct, like put your paper horizontally and draw that again. See, he needs to be way bigger. Because this is about the right size to go on our vase. So he needs some time on that one too. This is really nice. Now, this makes logical sense where this stops. This makes logical sense. Because it looks like a bust. A traditional sculpture of a person's head would end right below the shoulders here. So that looks okay. You wouldn't have to like put something below that to make it look like it wasn't just cut off. That looks natural. And I think either one of these, this looks more like a man. This is Athena. Athena was born out of Zeus's head. Zeus's head popped open and she just like popped out fully grown. Freaky. Oh, I like the detail on that. Alright. This is a little bit small, but I think it works. I think it's big enough that it will work. The bars in the background. I think what I would do is on your vase, sketch this out real quick. Vase, 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 vase. Alright. On your vase, you have your figure here. Shut up. You have your figure here, and then I would cut out some strips. I wouldn't cut this all out, this cage behind him. I wouldn't cut that all out. I would cut out some strips of that red paper, and I would glue those on first so you had a cage on the vase, and then I would glue the Minotaur on top of it. Unless you want the Minotaur to look like he's behind the bars, and then you put the Minotaur on first and the bars on top of him. Okay, this Minotaur I do not want to run into. Although I gotta say, there's gotta be something weird about the original drawing that these were taken from, because he's got like this weird line coming here, like his leg is got a growth on it. That leg needs to come down here. This is excellent. Very, very good. But it needs to be turned this way. It needs to be made bigger. Yep, that needs to be made bigger. Okay, again, you can trace it once, but I want you to put she put her own spin on it with the rainbow behind it, but it's got to be bigger. You need to turn it this direction, and it's got to be bigger. You can trace it once, but that's not the final drawing. I purposefully made these drawings from your references. I made those smaller because I want you to draw them on your own. This is perfect. The size is good. The proportions are good. That one is ready to go. And then maybe for the frieze, around the top, what you could do on the frieze is maybe fire. Just have like flame looking up. Let's see. You're going to get a long band like this. This is going to be cut in a strip. And that's what you're going to put your frieze on. So then I would like draw a fire across there. Actually, you know what? I've got just a couple that are ready to go. These two are ready to go on the vase. But all the rest of these, we need to spend some more time on. That one's ready. That one could go on the vase. So could that one. This one needs to be bigger. This one could go on. She's a little skinny. She's a little anorexic, but you could put hearts around to fill up that composition. You could put hearts around her too. You could do a frieze anywhere on the vase. That one can go too. This one is really close. But, and really you could go with this. You could just about go with just that and then put a cloud below him. But you've got such great ideas around him that I think that you should spend more time. You should do more of these pieces bigger. And then cut them all out separately and glue them on. That one is awesome. Excellent drawing. It needs to be bigger. This one's not really clear. That one needs to be more clear. I think this one's good. Maybe your frieze on this one could be just like single eyeballs. Like a whole bunch of eyeballs going around.
That'd be so cool.
This one needs to be bigger. 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 And let me show you real quick how to draw a skull. Half circle. Then you draw, it kind of looks like a muffin right now, or a mushroom. Then an irregular circle, 2 slightly diagonal lines, and then just the rough outline of a skull. So basically this needs to come around, and the jaw is more narrow than the cranium. That one needs to be bigger, and then if you just draw one skull, you could transfer that on to the paper. I would definitely do a frieze of skulls on this one. And in 8th grade, we do a lot with skulls. We make a clay skull. We do a drawing of a skull. Got to be bigger. Needs to be bigger. Poseidon is probably ready to go. Although, let's give him some feet. Let's work on the proportions on this one, actually. His arms are kind of small. Artist, tell me what this is.
Nothing.
Is that you?
Waves.
Waves. Okay. For waves, okay, because right now they look like wings. That's why I was confused. Alright. Never blame someone who helps you. Alright. Never blame someone who helps you. Alright. A good generic symbol for waves is this.
Whoa.
So it's a cross between organic and geometric line. And then if you want it to look really rocky and wavy, then put the tip in between each one of these curves. So I'd come up and I'd make the cap of the wave there. And you could also make it look like it has white caps by doing this. Make it look like it has white caps. Okay. This one is really, really close. It's really close. I think you should try one more time and make it bigger. You can erase. I would lightly draw a line down the center so that you know where to put the head. Put the head like right up there. The feet are going to be down here. Tops of the wings there. Make little notes so you know where to put things. I want that one bigger. This one, excellent. I'd like it bigger, and I like that one better. I like the depth in that one. And this one, choose one of those and make it fill that frame.